Hello, everyone. I'm aLex. You're here with me at through this amazing technological feat of a portal through Sun and Moon Yoga Studios YouTube channel. So I will chat for a few minutes on this theme of stone by stone, and then we'll sit and meditate together. Stone by stone, I was reminded of some wisdom from a book us yogis often lean to called the Yoga Sutras. And these books left for us by teachers, by experts from the past, yogis and other traditions like Lao Tzu of the Tao Te Ching, contain really concise, terse aphorisms that are teachers for us. They're as if they're teachers from the past coming to us through these texts. And stone by stone, many teachers of yoga also, and it might be another famous teacher, I think it was Sri Aurobindo, may have said something, used this metaphor of that yoga already exists. Yoga is the yoking or the joining, but also the unity that is already present. And the path we take is for the realization of that. So it's not as if we create the yoga or we make it happen, but we participate and we take responsibility for helping the conditions to make it happen. And so toward the end of this little book of the Yoga Sutras, in the 4th chapter, I'm reminded of these couple verses. Any change into a new state of being is the result of the fullness of nature. The fullness of nature unfolding inherent potential. So there's nothing about what we need to do at that part. But the apparent causes of a change do not, in fact, bring it about. They merely remove the obstacles to natural growth, as a farmer clears the ground for his crops and for water to flow there toward them, etc. And as Annie and other friends went out to the Moon Meadows Farm, our friend Suzanne Morgan's retreat center in West Virginia, and moved some thousands of stones to better outline the labyrinth there recently before they went for a retreat that Annie and Amir led there. So the actions that we take toward our goals, toward whatever goals we have, toward clearing out our basement, toward, and in the more metaphysical sense, and spiritual sense of revealing our own full potential and our true being. That's already there. That's already there in the inherent potential, right? Was that the phrase? Inherent potential. So this stone means a lot to me. I got it on a trip out in Washington State, out on the Olympic Peninsula. I love its veins and it's a very smooth round stone, and yet with all kinds of markings and imperfections. And it fits perfectly into my palm. And it's been a while, but I'm going to use it for a sitting today. Maybe you can get the stone that you've jaunted out to get in the beginning and can hold that for yourself. So some changes we're working toward, we're conscious of, and others happen for us. They come at us, sort of come to us like the change. And most of them are a combination of those things. Recently, as if you're following our social media and or our website, we have had to let go of our lease on our Fairfax studio of 20 years. 20 years we've resided there, as well as with our Arlington location. And there's a huge, huge amount of sorrow in a loss like that, of grief, of grieving. Full disclosure to the community here, there have been times that Rue, my little dog, has not joined me in this space. Most of the time he's been here, and sometimes in the early days you'd see him walking across and getting his water over there. The water bowls have been cleaned out this morning. We lost him this week, so I have a huge, huge loss in my heart, and there were many stones to move in the last days of his being with us. And in general, we come to this practice. So thank you for those of you who have loved him and enjoyed him on these recordings, on these live streams and recordings, joining me for mourning him. So our meditation practice again is an incredible tool for helping us gain clarity around which stone to move, where to put it, how to place it, how to know to do that. And it entails what comes easily to many of us is the planning, the doing, and I may be wrong about that. Maybe for some people, the spaciousness, the non-doing is a more ready state. But for many of us, we get in our heads, we get in our lists, and we don't allow as much space and time for that's needed for creativity, for inspiration, for the congealing of all the factors to allow for the path to be clear. So our meditation practice is huge in supporting that, the silence and stillness of that. So you have your stone or not, it's not essential. And I'll set my timer about 12 minutes. And in this first part, do ensure that your seat is comfortable. That is an important part. And I'll offer some sparse words through these 12 minutes of sitting together. Bowing together as we embark on this particular journey. Stone in your hand, or you could even put it on your leg or legs, one on each leg. And settle. You might readily notice how the stone is different from sitting without the stone. The stone enhancing this first and foremost tenet of groundedness. The stone giving us the full sensory experience of weight, of gravity. So even as you might sense and hear me speak the word, the symbol, stone, with your eyes and jaw relaxed and the spinal column upright easily, notice the feel of receiving the word, which is not the actual thing. But can be very powerful, can be sufficient to take us to the actual feeling, the heaviness, the density. That can help us find that same rootedness right inside of our being, deep inside. Deep in the sense of location inside the body, and deep in the sense of firmly rooted in our knowing. With full permission to come back to this grounding as whenever you sense you need that, to recommit to the stillness. Also lightly, easily, without fanfare, open to the sense of the boundlessness of our own presence, without losing this feel of self, and yet opening to the no self. So we relax through the shoulders. And we lightly attend to each breath. Each now moment of the stream of breath. Our attention may go to whatever visitor is arriving, be it a difficult pain in the body, challenging emotion that also lives in the body, or a persistent line of thinking, planning, conspiring. Part of our growing skill here is fully receiving those energies. Into this very rooted place, rooted yet open, fluid. ease, perhaps even joy. So as you welcome any of the visitors and even celebrate what seems to be a failure of meditating, because it's not, it's an awakening, an invitation to remember you're right here, you're already right here. Nothing to do, not an improvement project. But again and again, we come back to the rootedness, the ease of life-giving breath, the lightness and freedom of levity, space around, sound. Place your stone, if you're holding it, down aside, and a few breaths come back. Signature remains, does it not? Your palms together in front of the heart, bow together. Thank you, stone. Thank you, Sangha, our community. Thank you, wise teachers through the ages who have left us symbols to point us in our along our path. So sometimes this path, or any path of life, it does seem to get more and more difficult, in some ways more challenging And it seems a disappointing irony or discovery along the path, especially when those of us who come on these healing paths like yoga or Tai Chi or meditation, and to find that the challenges seem to get actually more challenging. And it's a little like cleaning the window, right? When a window's been really dirty, we first start to clean it, we realize how much layers of mud there might be there. And yet the capacity, it's not only that we have, it is important that we have what we're also doing is growing the capacity to hold that, to welcome it, but also to see its role, to see what it, maybe we don't at the time see the role, but it's all part of the story. It's way beyond any of us individually. So thank you as always for joining me here on some Yoga Studios YouTube portal. Come back and you might have seen we'll have gifts peppered in. You've got a couple classes by Amir to take, I think recently offered here. And I'll see you next week or whenever you join me. Ciao, ciao. Namaste.